George Washington, the Mozart of American Politics. 1. Introduction, 1732 to 1799. George Washington was a unique figure in American and world life. Unique in the true and strict definition of the word, the one and only. Because of this, historians and critics have struggled to place him because he stands alone in our history and that of the world. His contemporaries trusted him completely, evidenced by his unanimous electoral college elections as America's first president. He reached this exalted plateau after much history and failure as well as success. His accomplishments and setbacks elevated him in the eyes of his fellow Americans. It has been said his most sterling quality was his realism. He believed in the common man, but also felt demagogues could hold sway over them. He thought people capable of great things, but also realized the motives which predominate most human affairs are self-love and self-interest. Knowing this, he was acutely aware of how fragile the nation was, as the first democracy in over 2,000 years since the days of Pericles in Athens. As he said frequently, "What I do will set precedents for the future. I must be careful." He navigated away from royal titles such as Your Highness, Your Honor, Your Majesty, and other elevated titles that many Americans thought were suitable and settled for President of the United States, a far simpler and less pretentious title. Consider that ever since, when revolutions occurred, the first things many initially elected leaders do in new democracies is to consolidate their power, seize more, and seek long-term privileges for themselves and their family, with no sense of term limits or what is good for their new country. George Washington was the exception. He was trying to build a country, not his own stature or net worth. That fundamental factor ran through all of his decisions. He was not a professional politician any more than his contemporaries were, but his first objective was to build a nation, not an ideology, and that, coupled with his other virtues, led to his being so universally appreciated. His cabinet members squabbled over their opinions and ideologies, and did so for the rest of their political careers. Only Washington stood firm for the long-term good of the country, not the ideology of states' rights versus federal oversight, French or English allies, high or low tariffs, and so on and so on. He could have been king. Many people wanted him to be. He did not accept that role. He could have run for a third term. Most people wanted him to do so. He did not. Consider how few country leaders would walk away from imperial status he had, not run for a third term, if not prohibited, and retire to being a quiet private citizen. It is generally about them. In the case of Washington, it was about us, not him. And this legacy lives on. It has been famously said that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, not for Washington. Keep this in mind when listening or reading the rest of this work. Washington knew power as few people do. He built a successful farming operation by changing with the times as businesses require. He knew that retreat was an important, perhaps critical aspect of being a military leader, especially when so outgunned, outmanned, and outmanaged by the British. He recognized that this new government startup, the United States of America, needed a solid core, something best done brick by brick rather than in one big showy action or with ideological fervor. As has been said about businesses, deals are glamorous, it is the work that follows that is hard. That's what Washington knew
Sample complete. Ready to continue?